Hello everybody and welcome to this video. Hope you and yours have all had a lovely Christmas. I certainly have. It's been pretty decent and you all celebrated the new year accordingly, and again I certainly have, and I ain't feeling too great right now, but I did want to get this video out as the first video of the decade, hopefully setting off a trend. I did want to get it done yesterday, but the lighting were crap, so I've postponed it to today, and you get to hear my slightly groggy voice, which is something that I think we're all asking for as a New Year's present, I suppose. Obviously, been away for God knows how long, but it's been quite a tough semester at uni and just haven't really had the time. But I came back, got these for Christmas, the Irish Citizens Army, and painting them up in 3 days actually, so it's quite quick. I'll just show you what's going on, what's the crack here. This is James Connolly, the figure I painted there. He's ironically, his body, the main piece, is actually a British soldier from the Boer War. And funnily enough, he was actually a British soldier for a while until he deserted the army and committed himself to the trade union and the socialist cause in Ireland and America, where he actually helped set up the Industrial Works of the World and the Irish Transport and General Workers Union, which was one of the most militant unions in the British Isles, and it's quite inspirational. Of course, he's most famous for his role in the Easter Rising of 1916, where he put his name to the proclamation, and he was there fighting for the Workers' Republic. So overall, he's a very fascinating man. After reading a lot of his works and stuff over the past few months, and his life, it's great to read, and it's really approachable as well, because he's not some kind of intellectual. He's very much from the working class, and it makes for easy reading, which you can't say about most Marxist and socialist texts. But there we go, brilliant man. And I think I did an okay job on him, to be honest. You know, I had to cut away his hair a little bit because he's kind of balding, but he's got the moustache and he's got his beautiful green uniform on. So that's enough about Connolly. I put him to the side. But that's behind him, his Citizens Army. So there was actually 150 of these guys who were set up during a great trade union dispute in 1913 called the Great Dublin Lockout, because the police and the soldiers, the British soldiers, were actually firing upon picket lines of striking workers. So they decided to arm themselves and defend these picket lines, and that's where you get the Citizens Army, which was one of the first kind of nationalist militias that was formed in Ireland. And these figures are from they're the German colonial rifles. Very similar kind of uniform, you know. So it's got the double-breasted pocket and the hat, you know, the kind of slouch cap. The only difference being really is the hat was actually pinned up on the other side on the real Citizens Army, but come on, it's the closest I can get really. And also, from most of the pictures I can tell, they actually had bandoliers rather than this kind of German webbing. But I've seen some portraits and paintings with them wearing this kind of German webbing. So it's not massively inaccurate, but you know, you get the kind of general sense of what they're supposed to be. And I love this figure as well, you know. This was originally going to be the Connolly figure, but I wanted him to be a standard bearer instead, so I kept his hair on. And look at that starry plough. Absolute beautiful flag. So there we go. He's actually got the bandolier on, so he's a bit more accurate, I suppose. We don't have the hat, so we're missing out on a few things there. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Quite easy to do, quite fun to do as well. I've never actually really painted a proper green unit before, you know, so they've all been kind of browns and stuff. But yeah, it's quite fun to do. And the white bag kind of reminded me of doing Napoleonics again. Like, I would have done it black, but again, from all the sources, they had these white kind of satchel bags, which, you know, you got to kind of follow the history to some extent. But why have I painted these for very British Civil War, you might be asking yourself. In Yorkshire, in Leeds and Sheffield, where my army's based, there was quite large migrant Irish communities around there, and they were all kind of centred around the industrial centres. And so it's kind of, it makes sense that they'll be joining in on the people's assault columns, and why the adherence to Connolly as well. In 1938, in reality, there was something called the Connolly Association set up for British workers in the trade union movement to fight for a united Ireland in 1938. So there's clearly people that are in touch with that kind of history at the time, and and maybe with some kind of inspiration and some help as well from an Irish government, who knows, they're picking up the roots and donning the green of the Citizens' Army. And also, quite interestingly as well, there's a lad from Yorkshire who was actually a medic for the Irish side during the Rising. So there is some kind of links there with the history, but that's my kind of crap explanation. The reality is, I've been reading a lot about the 1916 Rising recently, and I also just wanted to paint up the unit because it looks bloody good, I reckon. It looks alright. The flag also moves, because I didn't put it on properly, but there we go. Yeah, I'm quite happy with these. In terms of what's coming up soon, I'm not too sure. I can't promise you because I'm getting back to work soon. But we'll see. Hope you enjoyed this update. It's nice to be back. It's nice to get something painted as well. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.